Welcome to the Daily Devo. My name is Diana. Today we are talking about how God keeps his promises throughout the generations. God keeps his promises. In our elementary years, we often make these lofty promises that we cannot keep. We promise to clean our room every day if we can just get that new thing, right? Sometimes in elementary school, we promise to be kind to that person, that sibling, if we can just get out of a consequence today. And likely they don't follow through with either one, right? Well, God is different. When God promises, he is faithful. God keeps his promises. That is a truth that you can depend on and you can walk by faith believing. Let's listen to today's verse. It's found in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 8. And it says this, "But it was because the Lord loved you and kept the oath he swore to your ancestors, that he brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you from the land of slavery, the power of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt." You know, an oath is a promise that is bound with a vow or a pledge. And this passage is talking about how God freed his people from the bondage in Egypt at a certain point in history. How the promise that God made generations before that to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob still stands. That generations have seen the faithful working of God's promise to this end. And in Exodus 13, we read about how God brought his people out of Egypt and he told them that they were to commemorate the moment. That is to remember what God did and retell how God was faithful to each generation. Today, let's think about it. How have you experienced a promise of God in your life or in the life of your family? Have you told that story recently? Have you reflected and rejoiced in God's faithfulness in that area? If you don't have a story of your own that quickly comes to mind, that's totally okay. You can read through the book of Exodus and let the people of God of old tell their story of God's faithfulness to his promise, even in difficult situations, especially in difficult situations. You see, God keeps his promises, and God's promises are found in the Word of God. And God's promises are fulfilled in Jesus. 2 Corinthians 1:20 tells us that. Today, let's ponder the faithfulness of God throughout the decades, throughout the generations, throughout the years, and let's remember them together. Ponder these things.